Baikal GVD. Baikal GVD is Gigaton Volume Detector. Russian scientists recently launched one of the world's biggest underwater neutrino telescopes. Underwater neutrino telescopes called Baikal GVD, Gigaton Volume Detector. See, the underwater neutrino telescope, Baikal Gigaton Volume Detector in waters of Lake Baikal, world's deepest lake situated in the Siberia. Baikal GVD. It is one of the three largest neutrino detectors in the world, along with the Ice Cube at South Pole and Antares in the Mediterranean Sea. So, three largest neutrino detectors in the world are there. That is Ice Cube in South Pole, Antares in Mediterranean Sea, and Baikal GVD Gigaton Volume Detector in Siberia, Lake Baikal. It seeks to study in detail the elusive fundamental particles called neutrinos to possibly determine their sources. What are neutrinos? Neutrinos, first proposed by Swiss scientist Wolfgang Pauli, and are the second most widely occurring particles in the universe. Only second to photons, the particle which makes up light. In fact, neutrinos are so abundant among us that every second there are more than 100 trillion of them passing right through each of us. We never notice them. What is the need for studying them? Study this will aid scientists' understanding of the origins of the universe. Since some neutrinos were formed during the Big Bang, others continue to be formed as a result of supernova explosion or because of the nuclear reactions in the sun. Supernova explosion and nuclear reactions. So, supernova explosions also, neutrinos are formed, and nuclear reactions in the sun also, neutrinos are formed. See, neutrinos are fundamental particles, which means that like quarks, photons and electrons, they cannot be broken down into smaller bits. Abundant of all the particles with mass, neutrinos are the most abundant in nature. They are also some of the least interactive. Roughly 1,000 trillion of them pass harmlessly through our body every second. Elusive. Neutrinos are difficult but not possible to catch. Neutrinos are difficult but not impossible to catch. Scientists have developed many different types of particle detectors to study them. Oscillating neutrinos come in three types of called flavors. They are electron neutrino, muon neutrino, and tau neutrino. One of the strangest aspects of the neutrinos is that they don't pick just one flavor and stick to it. They oscillate between all the three. Lightweight neutrinos weigh almost nothing and they travel close to the speed of light. Neutrinos' masses are so small that so far no experiment has succeeded in measuring them. The masses of other fundamental particles come from Higgs field, but neutrinos might get their masses another way. Diverse. Neutrinos are created in many processes in nature. They are produced in nuclear reactions in the sun, particle decays in the earth, and explosions of stars. They are also produced by particle accelerators and in nuclear power plants. Mysterious. Neutrinos are mysterious. Experiments seem to hint at a possible existence of fourth type of neutrino, a sterile neutrino, which would interact even more rarely than others. Very mysterious. Scientists also wonder if neutrinos are their own antiparticles. If they are, they could have played a role in early universe right after the Big Bang, when matter came in outnumber antimatter just enough to allow us to exist. That is, right after the Big Bang, when matter came to outmatter the antimatter just enough to allow us to exist. Covalescent plasma. Demand for convalescent plasma has grown steadily over the past 1 week in Gurugram, with a sudden spike in the COVID-19 cases. However, there remain a mismatch between the supply and demand, especially with the people unwilling to come forward to donate the plasma. Plasma therapy involves transfusing plasma retrieved from blood of the people who have recovered from the COVID-19 into the people suffering from the disease. Once a person recovers from the COVID-19, he or she develops antibodies found in plasma or liquid part of the blood. These antibodies targets the virus and patient is cured. Extremely simple process. Only plasma is retrieved from the donor's blood and the rest of the blood is returned. What are the challenges? It is now difficult to find a donor because those vaccinated were not eligible to donate, and the mismatch between the supply and the demand is further widened. Plasma is the liquid part of the blood. Convalescent plasma extracted from the blood of the patients recovering from the infection is a source of antibodies against the infection. Therapy involves using their plasma to help others recover. For COVID-19, this has been one of the treatment options. The donor would have to be documented case of COVID-19 and healthy for 28 days since the last symptom. Researchers at Indian Institute of Technology advise to diagnose dengue within an hour. Researchers at Indian Institute IIT Delhi have developed a handheld surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy based platform for early diagnosis of dengue and also gives dengue test results within 1 hour. Rapid diagnosis. Handheld SIRS surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy. Surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy. The research work was funded by Imprint India program of Ministry of Education. Need for the early diagnosis. Early diagnosis of dengue is the key to prevent the deterioration of patient's health. However, conventional diagnostic tools like nucleic acid detection using RT-PCR, reverse transcriptase primer polymerase chain reaction is time-taking process, and it also requires expensive equipment and reagents for diagnosis of dengue. Early diagnosis of dengue is the key to prevent the deterioration of the patient's health. However, conventional diagnostic tools like nucleic acid detection using RT-PCR, reverse transcriptase, polymerase chain reaction is time-taking process, and it also requires expensive equipment and reagents for the diagnosis of the dengue. It is a surface-sensitive technique. This is what surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy is a surface-sensitive technique that enhances Raman scattering by molecules absorbed on the rough metal surfaces or by nanostructures such as plasmonic magnetic silicon nanotubes. That is, basically molecules absorbed on rough metal surfaces or by nanostructures such as plasmonic magnetic silicon nanotubes. Raman spectroscopy. Iran says it has started enriching uranium to 60%. Iran has stated enriching its uranium supply to nearly 60% purity, closest the country has ever come to the level needed for a weapon. In response to the sabotage of an Iranian nuclear site last weekend linked to the Israel. What is the goal of uranium enrichment? See, the uranium contains a rare radioactive isotope called uranium-235 that can be used to power nuclear reactors to at low enrichment levels. Uranium-235 can be used to power nuclear reactors at low enrichment levels and to fuel nuclear bombs and at much higher levels. Nuclear reactor at low enrichment level and nuclear bombs at higher levels of enrichment. The goal of uranium enrichment is to raise the percentage levels of uranium-235, which is often done through the use of centrifuge machines. Spin a form of unrefined uranium. Spin unrefined uranium at very high speeds to get the refined uranium. How much enrichment uranium does Iran now possess? According to the International Atomic Energy Agency, the nuclear monitoring arm of the United Nations, Iran as of has amassed nearly 2,967 kgs of uranium, roughly 14 times the limit under the nuclear accord, and theoretically enough to power about 3 atomic bombs if refined to the weapon grade. The stockpile include 17.6 kg enriched to 20%, also forbidden under the accord until the year 2030. How a centrifuge separates uranium atoms, uranium-235 and uranium-238. Uranium fed into the centrifuge as a gas called uranium hexafluoride. Uranium-235, because of its light weight, floats at the top and is collected. Heavier uranium-238 separated from the lighter uranium-235 by spinning centrifugal force. Uranium-235 falls to the bottom and is removed. Motor spins at a high speed. Why does Iran have more enriched uranium now? After the President Donald Trump repudiated the Iran deal in 2018, reimposed economic sanctions on Iran, and added another penalties, Iran undertook a graduated series of steps away from compliance with the deal to retaliate, increasing its 3.7% uranium supply. Adding centrifuges, raising the uranium purity to some supply to 20%, and restricting international inspectors' access to some nuclear sites. All the while, the country said these were easily reversible actions. What the concern now? What makes a 60% enrichment level particularly threatening is that tricky process of enrichment becomes far easier and requires fewer centrifuges as it moves into the higher purities. In other words, getting to 90% purity is much easier starting from 20% and easier still starting from 60%. Whitest ever paint that can reflect 99% sunlight. US engineers have created what they are calling as whitest paint yet. US engineers. The ultra-white paint is made up of barium sulfate, which makes it more white. Which makes it more white. The paint can keep surfaces 19 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than the ambient surroundings at night. It can also cool surfaces 8 degrees Fahrenheit below. Cool surfaces 8 degrees Fahrenheit below their surroundings under the strong sunlight during the noon hours. This paint may be the closest equivalent to the blackest black paint ever called as Vanta black, that is able to absorb 99.9% of the visible light. NASA's InSight lander. NASA InSight lander has recorded over 500 quakes to date on Mars since its touchdown on the red planet in November 2018. Two recent quakes of magnitude 3.3 and 3.1 originated in a region called Cerberus Fossae. These findings support the idea that the planet is seismically active. Quakes have been observed by the NASA InSight lander, Cerberus Fossae. InSight mission. The InSight is a part of NASA Discovery program. It will be the first mission to peer deep beneath the Martian surface, studying the planet's interior by measuring its heat output and listening for Mars quakes, which are seismic events similar to the earthquakes on the Earth. It will use the seismic waves generated by the Mars quakes to develop a map of the planet's deep interior. NASA's Discovery Program. Findings of Mars formation will help better understand how other rocky planets, including the Earth, were created. InSight would delve deep beneath the surface of the Mars, detecting the fingerprints of the process of the terrestrial planet formation, as well as measuring the planet's vital signs, its pulse, seismology, temperature, and reflexes. That is precision tracking. InSight seeks to answer one of the science's most fundamental questions: how did the terrestrial planets form? Ingenuity helicopter. NASA Ingenuity mini helicopter has been dropped on the surface of the Mars in preparation for its first flight. The helicopter has been fixed to the belly of the Perseverance rover, which touched on the red planet on February 18. Challenges on the Martian surface for Ingenuity. Ingenuity will be attempting to fly in an atmosphere that is 1% the density of the Earth, which makes achieving lift harder. That is, Ingenuity will be attempting to fly in an atmosphere that is 1% the density of the Earth, which makes achieving the lift harder, but will be assisted by gravity. That is one-third of our assisted by gravity. That is one-third of our planets will know how to use its own battery to run a vital heater to protect its unshielded electrical components from freezing and cracking during the bitter Martian night. About Ingenuity Mars helicopter, part of NASA's Mars 2020 mission, the small coaxial drone rotorcraft will serve as a technology demonstrator. for potential use of flying probes on other worlds with the potential to scout locations of interest and support the future planning of driving routes for Mars rover. More about the Perseverance. Launched on 2020, a key objective for Perseverance mission on Mars is astrobiology. Perseverance mission is astrobiology, including the search for the signs of ancient microbial life. The rover will characterize the planet's geology, past climate, pave the way for human exploration of the red planet, and be the first mission to collect and catch Martian rock and regolith, broken rock and dust. Perseverance is fueled by electrical power using the heat of plutonium radioactive decay. Perseverance will carry a unique instrument, MOXIE, Mars Oxygen In Situ Experiment. In situ means in situ resource utilization, or which for the first time will manufacture the molecular oxygen on Mars using carbon dioxide from the carbon dioxide rich atmosphere. ISRU means in situ resource utilization, or the use of local resources to meet human needs or requirements of the spacecraft. Space debris, aiming to develop a method to predict collision from space debris. Indraprastha Institute of Information Technology, IIIT Delhi, has received research funding from National Supercomputing Mission under the Department of Science and Technology. The project titled Orbit Computation of Resident Space Objects for Space Situational Awareness has to be completed in 2 years. Orbit computation of resident space objects for space situational awareness. What is space debris? Space debris possesses a global threat to the continued use of space-based technologies that support critical functions like communication, transport, weather, climate monitoring, remote sensing. Predicting collision probability from these space objects is crucial for a national security perspective. Predicting space probability as well as the protection of public and private space assets of Indian origin. Amount of space debris in space. The real amount of space debris is said to be between 50,000 and 1 million pieces. As current sensor technology cannot detect smaller objects, they all travel at a speed of nearly 28,000 kmph, fast enough for a relatively small piece of orbital debris to damage a satellite or a spacecraft. Significance of this project. Outcome of this project will directly support the Indian space sector, valued at nearly $7 billion, that is 50,000 crore, by providing an operational, flexible, scalable, transparent, and indigenously collision probability solution. To safeguard its NITRA has been created to safeguard its space assets from the space debris. ISRO has set up a dedicated Space Situational Awareness Control Center named NITRA in Bengaluru. Space Situational Awareness Control Center NITRA in Bengaluru. NITRA key objective is to monitor, track, and protect national space assets and function as a hub of all SSA activities. Only the US, Russia, Europe have similar facilities in place to track the space objects and share collision warnings. NASA Mars helicopter makes first flight on another planet. NASA successfully flew its tiny helicopter Ingenuity on Mars, the first powered flight on another planet. Ingenuity goal is to demonstrate technology demonstrator. It won't contribute to Perseverance science goals. Perseverance is a key objective is Mars astrobiology. Perseverance mission. It is launched in July 2020, including the search for signs of ancient microbial life. The rover will characterize the planet's geology and past climate and human exploration of the red planet, and be the first mission to collect and catch Martian rock and regolith. Perseverance is fueled by the electrical power by using the heat of plutonium radioactive decay. It will use the heat of the plutonium radioactive decay. Perseverance will carry a unique instrument called MOXIE, or Mars Oxygen In Situ Experiment, which for the first time will manufacture molecular oxygen on Mars using carbon dioxide from the carbon dioxide rich atmosphere. ISRU means in situ resource utilization, or the use of local resources to meet the human needs or requirements of the spacecraft. that is MOXIE, Mars Oxygen ISRO experiment, in situ resource utilization experiment. Molecular oxygen is manufactured using carbon dioxide from the carbon dioxide rich atmosphere to meet the human requirements. Russia to launch its own space station in 2025. Russia Space Agency is planning to launch its own orbital station in 2025. Russia is considering withdrawing from the International Space Station program to go it alone. Russia lost its monopoly for manned flights to ISS last year after the first successful mission of US space company SpaceX. That is, Russia has lost the monopoly for manned flights to ISS. SpaceX has started US company about the International Space Station launched in 1998 involving Russia, United States, Canada, Japan, European Space Agency. ISS is one of the most ambitious international collaborations in the human history. ISS is a modular space station that is habitable artificial satellite in the low Earth orbit. ISS serves as microgravity and space environment research laboratory in which scientific experiments are conducted in astrobiology, astronomy, meteorology, physics, and other fields. ISS circles the Earth in roughly 93 minutes, completing 15.5 orbits per day. That is, every 93 minutes, one orbital is completed. So ISS is the ninth space station to be inhabited by the crew, following the Soviet and later Russian Salyut, Almaz, Mir stations, as well as Skylab from the US. Salyut, Almaz. ISS is the ninth space station to be inhabited by the crews following the Soviet and the later Russian Salyut, Almaz, Mir stations, as well as the Skylab from the USA. NASA's Perseverance mission has extracted oxygen on the Mars. A device aboard the rover was able to produce oxygen from the thin Martian atmosphere for the first time. It promises hope for future crewed missions that can rely on this technology for astronauts to breathe and return to the Earth. On Mars, composition of Martian atmosphere. On Mars, carbon dioxide makes up nearly 96% of the gas in the planet atmosphere. Oxygen is only 0.13% compared to 21% on the Earth's atmosphere. How did Perseverance produce oxygen on Mars? Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment (MOXIE) produced 5 grams of oxygen from carbon dioxide in Martian atmosphere, enough for an astronaut to breathe for 10 minutes. Like a tree on the Earth, MOXIE inhales carbon dioxide and exhales oxygen. To produce oxygen, MOXIE separates oxygen atoms from carbon dioxide molecules. It does so by using the heat at a temperature of around 800 degrees Celsius. In the process, it also produces carbon monoxide as a waste product, which it releases in the Martian atmosphere. MOXIE is a technology demonstrator. MOXIE is designed to generate up to 10 grams of oxygen per hour. That is 10 grams of oxygen per hour, and is placed inside the Perseverance rover. It is the size of car battery, weighing about 17 kg on the Earth and 6 kg on the Mars. Over about next 2 years, MOXIE is expected to extract oxygen 9 times more. Why is producing oxygen on the red planet so important? Oxygen supply on the Mars is essential for crewed missions to Mars, not just for astronauts to breathe, but for rockets to use as fuel while coming back to the Earth. As per the NASA, 4 astronauts to take off from Mars. For 4 astronauts to take off from Mars, a future mission would require around 7 metric tons of rocket fuel and 25 metric tons of oxygen, around the weight of an entire space shuttle. In contrast, astronauts living and working on Mars would require far less oxygen to breathe, maybe around 1 metric ton. So, thus it will be an enormous challenge to haul the 25 metric tons of oxygen from the Earth to Mars for return journey. and that their job would become significantly easier if the liquefied hydrogen can be produced on the red planet. Crew 2 mission. 4 astronauts were launched to the International Space Station from Florida as a part of collaboration between the NASA and SpaceX under the Commercial Crew Program. The mission is called Crew 2 and is the second crew rotation of SpaceX Crew Dragon and the first with international partners. What will Crew 2 do at ISS? First with international partners and second crew rotation and the first with international partners. What will Crew 2 do at the ISS? Members of the mission conduct microgravity studies, investigate food physiology meant to study the effects of dietary improvements on immune cell function and gut microbiome, and how those improvements can help crew adapt to space flight. Their central focus during this time will be to continue a series of tissue chips in space studies. Tissue chips are small models of human organs that contain multiple cell types that behave similarly to the human body. According to NASA, the chips can potentially speed up the process of identifying safe and effective drugs and vaccines. In space studies. These tissues in space studies, tissue chips are basically small models of human organisms. Commercial Crew Program. The main objective of this program is to make the access to the space easier in terms of its cost, so that the cargo and the crew can be easily transported to and from the ISS, enabling greater scientific research. Through this program, NASA plans to lower its costs by sharing them with the commercial partners such as Boeing and SpaceX, and also give the companies incentive to design and build the commercial orbital transportation services. Boeing and SpaceX were selected by NASA in September 2014 to develop a transportational system meant to transfer crew from US to the ISS. Zhurong, China's first Mars rover, named Zhurong after a traditional fire god. Mars rover, China's first Mars rover, Zhurong. The rover is to aboard the Tianwen-1 probe that arrived in the Mars orbit and is due to land in the May to look for evidence of life. Significance of the mission. China in 2019 became the first country to land a space probe on the little explored far side of the moon, and in December returned the lunar rocks to the Earth for the first time. Since 1970s. China would become the third country after the Soviet Union and USA to put a robot rover on the Mars. Tianwen-1. China's first Mars probe is called Tianwen-1. Or Huangsong-1. The spacecraft consists of an orbiter, lander, and the rover. Launched in 2020 on Long March 5 rocket from China. Landing site somewhere in Utopia Planitia, a vast plain in the Mars northern latitudes, and same place where NASA's Viking 2 mission landed in 1970s. There are 5 core scientific objectives: create a geological map of Mars, explore the characteristics of Martian soil and potentially locate water ice deposits, analyze the surface material composition, investigate the Martian atmosphere and climate at the surface, understand the electromagnetic and gravitational fields of the planet. Aditya L1 Support Cell is a community service center that has been set up to bring all the data on board India's first dedicated solar space mission to a single web interface. It is a joint effort of ISRO and Aryabhatta Research Institute of Observational Sciences. It will allow every interested individual to perform scientific analysis of data. Aditya L1 mission is India's first solar mission. It will be launched using PSLV in Excel configuration. It will have 7 payloads on board. It seeks to study the sun's corona, solar emissions, solar wind, solar flares, and coronal mass ejections (CMEs), and will carry out round-the-clock imaging of the sun. The data from Aditya mission will be immensely helpful in discriminating between different models for the origin of solar systems to solar storms, and also for constraining how the storm evolve and what path they take through the interplanetary space from the sun to the earth. Position of the satellite. In order to get the best science from the sun, continuous viewing of the sun is preferred without any occultation eclipses. Hence, to get the best science from the sun, continuous viewing is preferred without any occultation or eclipses. Hence, Aditya L1 satellite will be placed on a halo orbit around the Lagrangian point L1 of the Sun-Earth system. Lagrange halo orbit around the Lagrangian point. Why do we study the sun and the solar wind? The sun is the only star we can study up close. By studying this star we live with, we learn more about stars throughout the universe. The sun is a source of light and the heat for life on the earth. The more we knew about it, the more we can understand how life on the earth developed. It is a source of solar wind, a flow of ionized life. It is a source of solar wind, a flow of ionized gases from the sun that streams past the earth at a speed of more than 500 km per second, a million miles per hour. Disturbances in solar wind shake Earth's magnetic field and pump energy into radiation belts, part of Earth's magnetic field, and pump energy into the radiation belts, part of set of changes in the near Earth space known as space weather. Space weather will be changing, that is near Earth space. Radiation belts, pumped energy into the radiation belts. Effects on satellites. Space weather can change the orbits of satellites, shorten their lifetimes, or interfere with onboard electronics. The more we learn about what causes space weather and how to predict it, the more we can protect the satellites we depend on. Safety and preparedness. The solar wind dominates the space environment. As we send spacecraft and astronauts further and further from home, we must understand the space environment just as early seafarers need to understand the ocean.